From the energy flow diagram, two things become clear. Okay, from this energy flow diagram, two things can be clear. That first is that the flow of energy is unidirectional. Okay, the energy is flowing in a unidirection only. Okay, if we talk about one chain, okay, in that chain, okay, one by one it will be energy can be transmitted. So the direction is uni means what? Okay, in a unidirection a flow will be seen. Okay, so here you can see that if we talk about the first chain in this web, okay, the energy is transmitting to the primary consumer, then it are going to a secondary and further on tertiary consumer. Okay, so this way energy will be flown from one organism to another organism. So the direction is unique. Unique means what? Okay, unidirection. It are going in a unidirection. Okay, so the energy that is captured by the autotroph does not revert back to the solar impact. Okay, so here you can see that the energy which is captured by the autotroph, that is not coming back to the solar impact of energy which is passing to the herbivores, does not come back to a autotroph. And same way, okay, if the energy is passing from the autotroph to a herbivores, it cannot be reversed back to autotroph. Okay, what it is saying that if, okay, autotroph is taking energy or capturing energy, okay, or here autotroph means what? Okay, plants and green animal as well as green plant as well as bacteria, okay, which are capturing its energy, okay, that cannot be reverted back to the sun or solar energy. Okay, so autotroph plant are those, or autotroph organism are those which are capturing or creating its energy from the sunlight. Okay, so that energy is consumed in that autotroph organism, that cannot be reverted back to sun. Okay, same way the autotroph energy is transmitting to a herbivorous. Okay, that herbivorous energy, okay, the herbivores get energy from autotroph, so that cannot be reverted back to autotroph. As it move progressively through the various trophic level, it is no longer available to previous level. Secondary, the energy available at each trophic level are diminished progressively due to loss of energy at each level. Okay, that we have discussed earlier only, that the energy is transmitting to a trophic level that can be reduced. Okay, that can be reduced or diminished. Okay, after some time it can be in a less amount. Another interesting aspect of a food chain is how unknowingly some harmful chemical entered in our body through the food chain. Okay, the second is by eating a food, okay, what will be seen, a many harmful chemical can be introduced in our body, and due to which our body get infected. You have read in class 9th how the water get polluted, okay, which we have already studied in standard 9. One of the reason is the use of several pesticides and other chemical to that. Okay, the one of the reason is of using a pesticides and chemical, okay, which are very toxic to our body. Okay, that is the one reason due to which our health get affected. Protect our crop from the disease and pest. Okay, we are using pesticides and insecticides, okay, due to which a crop get protected, but that harmful chemical particle gets stayed in that particular crop, and due to which that crop we are eating as a food, and indirectly or directly that pesticides particle or chemical can be introduced in our body, and due to which our body get damaged. And these chemicals are either washed down into the soil or into the water body. Further on, these chemicals are what? Okay, washing out in a soil as well as water body, and due to which we are inhabiting that water body. And from the soil, these are absorbed by the plants along with the water and mineral. And from that, what we are seeing, that pesticides or chemical which are mixed with the soil, that chemical can be absorbed by the plant, okay, with water and mineral, and due to which plant get damaged, and in a plant a chemical particle can be introduced, and these are taken up by the aquatic plant, and in a water a chemical particle which are mixed, that can be absorbed by the aquatic plant, and due to which aquatic plant is also spoiled, as well as a terrestrial plant which are very useful for the human beings, that is also spoiled. In this way the tropic level are this. Okay, the diagram is given of a flow of energy in ecosystem. Okay, here you can see that from the sunlight producer will take the energy. Okay, what we are saying, a producer are taking energy from sunlight. Okay, producer taking energy from sunlight. Further on, producer will give energy to herbivores. Okay, and that herbivores will give energy to carnivores, and from carnivores it will go to a top carnivores. Okay, so this way you can see that flow of energy is in a unidirection. Okay, here you cannot able to see that producer will release or it will give back energy to sunlight. Same way herbivores will give energy back to producer. So here in this flow chart or flow of energy, you are seeing that direction of energy is in a unidirection. Okay, it is in unidirection, it will not be reverse back. Okay, an animal, this is one of the way in which they enter the food chain. Okay, this way it will enter in a food chain, as these chemicals are not degradable. Okay, these chemicals are not degradable, it cannot be easily removed from this, and these get accumulated progressively at each tropic level. As human beings occupy the top level in any food chain, the maximum concentration of these chemical, okay, the maximum chemical concentration is of these chemicals get accumulated in our body, and due to which it will accumulated in our body, and this phenomena is known as biological magnification. Okay. The phenomena which we are seeing is known as a biological magnification. This is the reason why our food grains such as wheat and rice, vegetable and fruits, and even meat contain varying amount of pesticide residue. Okay, this is the reason we are seeing that in our food grain as well as many maximum amount of food there is a present of all these pesticides particle, and they cannot be always be removed by washing or other means, and it cannot be removed by washing or many other processes. So the next is, how do our activity affect the environment? Okay, we are affecting lot of things due to which environment get affected. We are an integral part of energy. Okay, we are an integral part of energy. Change in the energy affect us, and our activity change the environment around us, and we are doing many activity due to which environment get affected. Okay. We have already seen in class 9 how our activity pollute the environment. Okay, which we have already studied in class 9. Okay, that how our activity are polluting the environment. In this chapter, we shall be looking at two of the environmental problem in detail. That is depletion of ozone layer, and waste disposal. Okay, this is the two major problem. Okay, which are polluting environment, and due to which our activity get polluted by the environment. Now the first is ozone layer and how it is getting depleted. Ozone is the molecule formed with the 3 atom of oxygen. Okay, 3 atom of oxygen. Okay, O3. Okay, so that is known as ozone. Okay, while O2, which we normally refer to oxygen. Okay, O2, which we say it as a oxygen gas, and which is very essential and very important for the living organism. organism and is essential for all aerobic form of life. And it is very important for the aerobic form of life in which we are also there. Ozone is deadly poison. Okay, but if we talk about the ozone, okay, which is one atom more than O2 gas, okay, which is very dangerous, okay, which is very dangerous. However, or poisonous, okay, dangerous not, but we say it as a poisonous. However, at a higher level of atmosphere, ozone perform an essential function. Okay, if we talk in a higher level of atmosphere, ozone play an important role for essentiating a function. It shields the surface of Earth from ultraviolet radiation from the sun. Okay, it is shielding what? It is protecting us from ultraviolet radiation from the sun. Okay, from the sun, okay, we can see that ultraviolet radiation are emitted and which are very hazardous as well as which are very dangerous to our living organism. So that ultraviolet radiation, okay, is opposed. Ultraviolet radiation is opposed by this ozone layer. Okay, so ozone will oppose this ultraviolet radiation and shield a whole Earth. Okay, so this radiation is highly damaging to organism, and this radiation which are emitting is very damaging to organism. And for example, it is known as cause skin cancer in human being, and due to which ultraviolet radiation we can see that in human beings cancer can be seen, skin cancer can be seen. Ozone at a higher level of atmosphere is product of UV radiation acting on oxygen molecule. Okay, UV radiation which we are producing. Okay, it can be ozone is the higher level of atmosphere is produced of UV radiation acting on oxygen molecule. The higher energy UV radiation split apart some molecule oxygen into free oxygen. Okay, whenever a higher energy of UV radiate, what will be seen? Oxygen O2, okay, which we see that oxygen is a diatomic, okay, that diatomic oxygen or diatomic molecule can be splitted into a single or a mono atom. Here you can see free energy, which we say it as a free oxygen. Mono atom oxygen, which we say it as a free oxygen. Okay, it get converted to a mono atom oxygen. Okay, we say it as a free oxygen. This atom then combine with the molecule of oxygen to form ozone. Okay, so here you can see that O2, okay, in presence of ultraviolet, okay, it gets splitted to O plus O, which we say it as a mono. Okay, here you can see that O2, which is in a diatom, and in nature also oxygen is in a diatom only. It gets splitted to a two different atom, which we say it is a monoatom, and this monoatom is said to be a free oxygen. This free oxygen again react with the O2, which are very essential in atmosphere and which are in a major proportion or are present in a atmosphere, and react with that O2. Free oxygen will react with the O2 and it will give ozone. Okay, it will give ozone. The amount of ozone in the atmosphere began to drop sharply in 1980. In 1980, we are seeing that ozone are depleting sharply. This decrease has been linked to a synthetic chemical like chlorofluorocarbon, and due to which chlorofluorocarbon are synthesizing in a many major proportion, which are used by the refrigerant and fire extinguisher, and which is used in a refrigerant as well as fire extinguisher. In 1987, okay, in 1987, United Nations Environment Program, UNEP, okay, full form of UNEP is United Nations Environment Program, succeed in forging an agreement to freeze CFC production at 1986 level. Okay, so it is now mandatory for all manufacturing company to make CFC free refrigerator throughout the world. Okay, so in previous day, okay, for refrigerator or in a refrigerator, okay, in a fridge, we are seeing that CFC play important role. But just now, okay, whichever refrigerator will be there, in that CFC is banned. Okay, so the refrigerator just now in a modern refrigerator is found without CFC, or CFC refrigerator can be found in the world. Okay, because of this phenomenon. Now, the managing a garbage we produce. Okay. How we can manage a garbage which are producing? We have seen in a chapter on life processes that food we eat is digested by the various enzymes in our body. In our body, okay, what we are saying, enzymes are there, okay, which will digest the food which we are inhabiting or eating. Have you ever wondered why the same enzyme does not break down everything we eat? Okay, there are different type of enzyme, okay, which have its own function. Okay, so all the enzyme do not have a same functioning. Okay, all of them have different function. Have you ever wondered why the same enzyme does not break everything we eat? Enzymes are specific in their action. Okay, so just now we have discussed that all of enzyme have its own functioning and specific use. Specific enzyme are needed for the breakdown of particular substance. So there is a need of enzyme which are breaking down a particular substance. That is why we will get any energy if we try to eat quail. Okay, if in place of food we eat a quail, then if we will get energy? No. Because of this, many human made material like plastic will not be broken down by action of bacteria. And same way, okay, many human beings activity or artificial material, for example plastic and many other things, okay, that will not be broken down by the action of bacteria or other saprophytes. Okay, this material will be act upon by the physical processes like heating or pressure, but under the ambient condition found in our environment, this persists for a long time. Okay, this material, okay, are only destroyed by giving physical processes like heat and pressure. But for doing such activity, we will need lot of heat as well as pressure, and it will take long period of time. So it is very complicated. So substances that are broken down by the biological process are said to be biodegradable. Same way, if the substance are broken down with the help of biological process, then a such substance are said to be a biodegradable. In same way, how many of the substance you buried were biodegradable? Substances that are not broken down in this manner are said to be non-biodegradable. Okay, once again I am repeating. What is biodegradable? A biodegradable substance are those substances which can be broken down, okay, by biological processes. But if the substance cannot be broken down by the biological activity or processes, then such substances are said to be a non-biodegradable substance. This substance may be inert or simply persist in the environment for the long period of time, and a non-biodegradable cannot be decomposed easily, and it will remain for a long period of time and harm a various member of ecosystem, and due to which it cannot be decomposed easily and it will harm a lot of member of ecosystem. Visit any town or city and we are sure to find heaps of garbage all over the place. Okay. If we visit any city, we can able to see that garbage are spread, okay, in the street as well as in any place. Visit any place of a tourist interest and we are sure to find a place returned with the empty food wrapped. Okay, same way, if we are going to any places, okay, historical places as well as many temples as well as many places, tourist places, we can see that food wrapper are there, okay, which are very empty, and that is mostly it is containing a plastic bag only, okay, so it is very hazardous and it cannot be decomposed easily. So in the earlier classes we have talked about this problem of dealing with the garbage that we generate. Let us now look a problem a bit more deeply. Improvement in our lifestyle have resulting in greater amount of waste material generation. Okay, our life is improved but waste material get increased, and change in attitude also have a role to play with more and more things we use becoming disposal. So disposal is very important. Change in packing having a result in much our waste becoming non-biodegradable. And same way packing, okay, in most of the packing we can see that plastic play important role, and plastic, which is one of the type of non-biodegradable material, okay, which is non-biodegradable material, plastic. Just now in this situation we are seeing that plastic play important role in modern time for packing any material. So plastic, which is one of the non-biodegradable and it cannot be decomposed easily, so it is a major problem. What do you think will be impact of this on our environment? Okay.
Food web. In our earlier session, we learned that an organism depends on one another in series for feeding. This series of organisms at various biotic levels form as a food chain. Each level or step of the food chain form as a trophic level. There are 4 trophic levels. The first trophic level is with autotrophs. They are also called as producers and will be available to next level organisms as food. Example, plants. The second trophic level is heterotrophs, are also called as consumers. Example, grasshopper. The third trophic level is primary consumers, are also called as herbivorous. Example, frog. The fourth trophic level is secondary consumer, or also called as carnivorous. Example, snake. The fifth trophic level is tertiary consumer, or also called as larger carnivorous. Example, eagle. Thus, interaction among various components of environment involves flow of energy from one component to another. As we learned earlier, the energy from autotrophs is transferred to heterotrophs and to decomposers. Thus, it forms as a food chain. As we learned in our previous chapter, sources of energy, when energy changes from one form to another form, some energy is lost which cannot be used. For example, the green plants on earth capture 1% of energy from sunlight and converts into food energy. When the green plants are eaten by primary consumers, some energy is lost to the environment, some goes into digestion and some in doing work, and the rest goes to reproduction and growth. An average 10% of energy from food will be available for next level of consumers. Therefore, 10% of energy is taken as the average amount of organic matter that is reaches the next level of consumers. Since less energy is available for the next level of consumers, food chains generally consist of only 3 or 4 steps. So,